Here's the reality. Nobody cares about you until they do. And they don't care about you until they feel like you see them, you hear them, you understand them. If somebody came to you and they literally said, you have 20 minutes to live, what is the message that cannot die within you? What must you share? You will surprise yourself with what comes out, because what comes out is not necessarily going to be what you think would come out. The only guarantee is that the external is going to change. Life is going to change. All the external, it's going to change. So stop comparing yourself to others, because we are all unique. When you're trying to figure out, do I have a message? You've got one. You're a living, breathing miracle who's navigated so much stuff. You have a story. And someone in the world is waiting for you to share it in the way that only you can.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Jill Collins Connections. I'm here again today, and I want to introduce you to someone really special. This is Ellie Shefi. Ellie is become a dear friend of mine. We met at a retreat last year, and I got to know her, and I said, oh my gosh, I want to work with this woman. I want to know more about what she does. She has this thing that she says is that she's the quintessential definition of tenaciousness. And before I even read that about her, I said, that is totally who she is. She's been through a lot, y'all. And for those of you who have been through things in your life as well, and you've overcome a lot of things, she's definitely the person you want to get to know, because she's been through a lot. She's experienced a lot, and she's found creative ways to help others, help herself, and then also help others. She has this signature approach to life. It's called strategy first. And that's how she approaches everything in life, whether it's writing your best-selling book or building a business or a brand or optimizing your organization and its operations. She says it always starts with strategy first. So let's dive in today and let's meet Ellie. Ellie, welcome to the show. And so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. How exciting.
Yeah, thanks. I want to dive in because we talked a little bit about what it is that you do. And I know you're working with like governments and major corporations, and then you also have this beautiful soul that you just want to help people find their message and find their story and get it out there. And that's what really hit me. What? It's really cool. And I've met a lot of people who do what you do, but there's something about you that's different. And I would love to hear from you what you would say about yourself that you think is different.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I like to describe myself as a weeble. And for those of you like me who are old enough to remember what a weeble is, it's that little egg-shaped toy from the 70s and the 80s. And their tagline was, "Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down." And I have completely embraced that because, as you alluded to, my life story has not been an easy one. I've experienced everything from abuse and rape and domestic violence and living in hiding under a fake name and poverty and homelessness and living in my car and eating out of trash cans and begging restaurants for the food they were throwing away at the end of the night. I'm a cancer survivor and a medical miracle who the doctors said would be dead by Christmas of 2000. And they've liked to continue to give me expiration dates all the way through my cancer journey in 2019. And every time they gave me an expiration date, I would look at them and laugh and just say, oh, I don't think so. I'm not done yet. And so I think through everything that I've navigated, whether that was physical challenges, emotional challenges, financial challenges, whatever the case may be, the key has always been to find my why and hold on to it for dear life. And I know a lot of people say, know your why. But I think what makes me different is truly understanding and living the life-saving power of your why. It's not know your why in the sense of it to help you get out of bed and build a business and serve some people. Your why, a true why, is your lifeline. It is that absolute connection to the divine, however that resonates with you, that is your life force, that gives you your fuel, that is your anchor, that keeps you centered, that acts as your North Star, that drives you, that fuels you, that feeds you. And when you're living in that kind of alignment, truly in that kind of alignment, then everything flows from there. And it's much easier to build a business. It's much easier to serve clients. It's much easier to live a life of joy and richness and fulfillment and play and laughter and vibrancy because you are so authentically aligned and you're living centered and you're living purposefully and intentionally. And so I think that the really the severity and the breadth of my life experiences that have really crystallized that why and allows me to show up fully as me.
Mhm.
It makes me different.
I can see that. And that is so powerful. Something you said, and I remember when I first started doing Tony Robbins' work and everyone was saying, you have to find your why. And I remember Dean Graciosi saying, it's my kids. That's my why. And I'm like, I don't have kids.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the space of what is really my why? Who do I live for? Who am I leaving a legacy to? And that I really struggled with my why for a long time because it was like, I lost my husband 7 years ago. I'm going like, okay, so I don't, what is it's the world. And as I've grown and evolved spiritually in the past several years, it's, connection to the divine. What's my soul's purpose? And I forgot to tell you this earlier, but I went to Agape Center when I was in LA last week and I met Michael Beckwith at a retreat I was at a few weeks before and I went there and I'm going through his book now called Life Visioning. And it's just so interesting what you just said about finding your why is it's not just that what gets me out of bed in the morning. Cause there were moments early on after Ed died that I'm like, I don't even to go have some fun, to go not feel pain. What can solve this problem? It was just to survive. And then it's okay. So now what's going to really motivate me to want to do my soul's purpose? And the evolution over time now for me has been is this inner peace, seeking of inner peace. And then inner peace has led to how can I open my heart so fully that I love everyone equally? This is my prayer every day. How can I open my heart, God, so fully and love everyone so fully without judgment and see everyone as equal where there's no separation? And that's what really drives me now. But then it's now, okay, that's great. Now I feel that. But then there's so many things that I can do. And I think there's a lot of people who are watching who are in the same boat. I talk to people every day about this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm confused. I have so many possibilities, but I don't know which direction to go in. So they get the steps. They get the idea of, okay, every day I'm going to do these rituals that we do to stay on track and take care of our bodies physically and read and meditate and do all these things. But we're not driving the needle to get to where our soul's purpose is and what we're supposed to do with that, what we're called to do.
Yeah.
So that why that's where I'd love to hear, how do you find that why?
Yeah. I want to circle to something that you said that I
Yeah.
think is so, so important. And when people attach their why to something external, then when that external no longer exists, you are completely lost.
Woo!
Purpose for living has now evaporated. Do you really want to give your power away like that? Do you not exist in and of yourself for any other reason than these external things?
Mm,
Really? Is that why your maker made you? For
no,
some external reason?
no.
I think it's so important because the minute we say, and I love Dean Graziosi, he's one of my mentors. I work with the best of the best. And I love that. And I love when people say, oh, I live for my kids. Okay. And then when you are an empty nester and you join the ranks of the hundreds of thousands and millions of women who, the minute their kids leave, they now go through this whole process of, oh my God, who am I? And
Mm,
what am I going to do with my life? And now my identity is gone and my identity is shifted and I'm lost and I don't have a purpose because my why, my purpose, everything I've done for all those years leading up to that
yeah.
was to be a mother, was to lead and shepherd my kids. And I'm not saying that's not important. It is absolutely important. It is absolutely divine. It is absolutely a why. but it can't be your core why. Your core why has to be internal. Your core why has to be for you, about you, connected to you, because you cannot control the external. And the only guarantee is that the external is going to change. Life is going to change. Circumstances are going to change. Your job is going to change. Your relationship is going to change. Your house is going to change. The economy is going to change. The world is going to change. The climate's going to change. All the external, it's going to change. So if you want an anchor, if you want a North Star, if you want that inner peace, that stability, that safe haven and the port in the storm, the calm in the middle of the change of life, it has to be internally driven.
Ooh, I love this. Has to be internally driven.
Has
And
to be internally driven.
because I've seen that. And that's part of a program that I've worked with divorced and widowed women in the past and coaching. And that's that reinvention. When you
Yep.
reinvent, is how many times have we realized is like we lose a job, the pandemic hits, and all of a sudden we're all going, who am I now?
Yeah.
And I had that moment of, it's that when my husband passed in 1 second, basically. And it's, oh my gosh, what's my life like now? Yeah. Do I miss him? Absolutely. And then this other side is, what is my purpose now? Who am I? Who am I? We lose a job, and if we've been, and I know you're a licensed attorney, and it's, if you don't have something with a title or something's taken away, then who are you? If you're a mother and you lose God forbid, lose a child, who are you? If they go, if they, like you said, they leave the nest. And so how do we find those? Because that's true. If we're finding if our why is so fluid, is some days it's working well and some days it isn't.
Yep.
Right? So we can be on a never-ending roller coaster of emotions dependent upon how things are going
Yeah.
from external sources.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Can't
how
be
do we
driven
find
by.
that? So how do we know what the why is internally?
Yeah.
How
Absolutely. So you develop it, and it ties into another really important point that you just brought up, which is identity.
Mhm.
Right? And so when we identify ourself, when we say, I am a mother, I am an attorney, I am an 8-time #1 international bestselling author, I am a keynote speaker, I am a media personality, I am. Again, I am is so powerful. When you are declaring who and what you are, so incredibly powerful. So be careful what you attach it to and how you attach it. Because when you are confusing, write this down, people. When you are
Yes.
confusing your identity with a role that you play or hold in the world, it's again giving your power to that external role, because the roles are going to change. The roles are going to be fluid. The titles are going to change. That's external. External has nothing to do with who you are. So your why and your identity is internal. So who am I? I am a divine creation. I am a child of God. Who am I? I am freaking unbreakable, unstoppable. I am resilient. I am light. I am love. I am determined. I am a beautiful beam of light. I radiate into this world. I am authentic. I am aligned. I am transparent. I am me. Take it or leave it. I don't really care, but this is me in all my glory. So that is who I am. And who I am and my identity had nothing to do with the millions of accolades and roles and titles. I poke fun at them. Whenever I'm asked to do a keynote, I just spoke at NASDAQ a few weeks ago. And whenever I'm asked to do a keynote, I make fun of all my titles and accolades, because there's a lot of them.
Yes, there are. They're going to be in the description. We're going to put everything there so we can see.
Yeah, like they're insane when you list them out, and you couldn't possibly list out all of the awards and the accolades and the titles and the accomplishments. And you know what? I couldn't care less about any of them, because they're not at all who I am. They're a reflection of my tenacity. They're a reflection of my strategy first approach in action. They're a reflection of my life's work, my mission, my purpose, the embodiment of, of my values. But they're just a reflection of who I am and how I show up in the world. They're not me.
Yeah. They're a reflection. I love that because it's almost the output of what you have based on who you are, your identity. And I love I love identity work. It's something that's so amazing to me and the impact it has. And I talked to Kari Schneider, interviewed her a couple weeks ago, and she
See
talked
her
about.
actually next week.
Oh, you are? She's amazing. And she's doing a 5-day challenge too next week, which I'm part of. But is this thing about what I didn't realize before is this conflicting identities where some are conflicting. It's what Tony talks about is those limiting beliefs or not the values and how our way values and forward values
Yep.
often like conflict or contradict each other. But the thing that's so fascinating is that what you said is that's really, and what Michael even talks about, Michael Beckwith, is when we are creating this vision, it's not, when we're in abundance, it produces more abundance. It's like
Yep.
this, it doesn't, there's no ending to it. It's just this output. It's almost like a tree that keeps bearing fruit. It's not that the tree gets smaller or it depletes. It's just the fruit keeps coming and more, and there's a never ending supply. And so it's the essence of who we are is that being, that soulful being. And then everything else, it's just a byproduct of what that happens as we're living our soul's our purpose and we're honoring our purpose, our why.
Absolutely. And so going back to how do we find our why?
Yeah.
The why comes in the stillness. The why comes when, when I work with clients and I do this same process, whether I'm working with my women in the Sedona Sisterhood Retreat, or whether it's authors coming to write their book, or as a private advisory client for people to build their brand, I start in the same place because you have to start internally. And so here's the thing. If somebody came to you and they literally said, you have 20 minutes to live, what is the message that cannot die within you?
Woo!
What must you share? What can't die within you? And you have 20 minutes. Go. And when you close your eyes and you strip away all the nonsense, you strip away the external, and it's not some outward trite message. It's literally you close your eyes, you get centered, and you have 20 minutes. What must your soul express? What cannot die within you? And that will provide a gateway. Try it. You will surprise yourself with what comes out, because what comes out is not necessarily going to be what you think would come out.
I'm going to try that. I think I know what it would be, but I'm going to wait and do this and sit in stillness and ask the question. I think everyone, by the way, we always say at the beginning, and I didn't say this, but I think everyone knows you're going to want to rewind if you don't have a notebook and start over and then start taking notes because this is really good stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
My notebook's filling up already.
Yeah. So try it. Try it. Get still. Maybe do whatever your ritual is. If you have a meditation practice, to really get quiet, really get still, go inward. Imagine literally that you are on your deathbed and you have 20 minutes. What haven't you said that you need to say? What cannot die within you without being expressed?
Cannot die within you. Ooh.
And once you have that, you can explore it. And you can explore, wow, who needs to hear this? Who needs to know this? Why? Why do they need to know this? How will it change their life? How will it impact them? What will they feel when they receive this message? How will their life change, or how will they change by receiving this message?
Mm.
And from there, Who do I need to be the embodiment of this message? To be the harbinger of this message? Who do I need to be the embodiment of this message? And in that exploration, you will start to see truly your values, truly your characteristics, truly your attributes. You will explore what actually drives you, what moves you. And as you're exploring this beautiful journey of, wow, who am I really? Not who do my parents say I am, not who does society say I am, not who did my fifth grade teacher say who I am, not who does my religion say who I am, not who does social media say I am. When you strip away the programming, when you strip away the conditioning, when you strip away the identities and protections and survival mechanisms that you've developed over the years as a result of navigating this thing called life and its challenges and its journey, when you strip away all of the things you've picked up along the way and you come home to yourself, who do I need to be the embodiment of this message, of this mission that cannot die unexpressed through my soul?
This message and this mission, it's, gosh, there's so many things. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, how many people need to hear this? And we've all heard, not all, I think a lot of us have heard things like this, but not packaged in this way, so concisely and so clearly. Maybe it's just a message. Maybe nobody else needs this today but me, but it's so concise and it's so beautiful because I see how this works. I feel, I sense how this works. I sense that some of us have been spinning our wheels, I'm talking about myself, for a long time sometimes, trying to figure out what it is that I'm really trying to do. And I have a sense of it. And then all the steps and the noise and the conditioning and the programming and then society, the survival mechanisms, as you said, jump in and say, yeah, but you got to do all this other stuff right now. You can block out some time and get to that. You'll get to that. You'll write your book, which everybody, yeah, you're going to get there. You'll do it. Or maybe when you get to Argentina, you'll do it then. Wow, that was, yeah. So it has to be, and that's why I love when we talked about what you do and how you sit down with people. And y'all, if you're thinking about writing a book or you're being called to do something like this, Ellie is brilliant. I haven't worked with her yet, but I've talked to so many who have, and had an opportunity to chat with you about it. And just the way that what someone said to me, who you did help, right, a mutual friend who helped her, and she said, she will not let you go. Like, she will not say, when you say, I don't feel like it right now, it's no, we're doing this. It's if you're like me and you need somebody to basically say, we're doing this, come on, let's go. And the tough love a little bit, I think that's what I hear about you, which I appreciate, because someone will say, okay, just be kind to yourself. It's all right. It'll come. Yeah, I'll be still sitting here 2 years later. But I think going back to this is just getting this message out. And we were talking a little bit earlier about the fears that might be holding people back. For me, it's, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be peddling something. And that's why I do this channel and I don't charge for it. I just love giving. And at the same time, I don't put enough of my own content and my own views out because I'm afraid of what people will think. And I'm afraid of judgment, of criticism, of can I be consistent and show up for myself if I start a routine? And then what am I going to talk about? Do I have enough to say? I have plenty of things to say, but can I put it in a format that it's going to be understandable, or is it going to be, I have to have structure? Is it going to just be all kinds of stuff all over the place and there's no set understanding of what it is? And so I wait and I don't do it. And there's a message that I say, and I probably say it all the time. It's in my bio in Clubhouse and other things. And I love this message that I came up with myself is, and I tell people this all the time, and it's really because I need to be telling myself this. And it's, I believe that every single person on this planet has a message to share that someone needs to hear. And every day you don't share your message, someone's suffering.
Yep.
And that's for me. And it's for probably a lot of other people out there. And you've really opened my eyes today to remind me that I need to do this. And I think a lot of us are there.
Yeah.
And every day like you've experienced so much in your life, so much turmoil, so many things that there's no reason by the doctor's opinions, you should even be here today. You may not even, shouldn't even be having this conversation. You shouldn't be walking this earth right now. And you are. And you've been through abuse and struggles and homelessness, and yet you've conquered and triumphed and overcome and thrived through it. And you're helping others do that, get their messages out as well. And so people need to hear that. And because you showed up, you're helping me, you're helping so many others. And so those who are watching is like, what is that one thing that you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to write that book? We're going to put all the links for Ellie and how to reach out to her. She's doing a really cool event coming up. It's a best-selling book boot camp, October 18th through the 25th. And tell me, where is that? Is that going to be in Sedona?
It's in Laguna Beach, and it's a magical place. It's so inspiring. You look at the ocean while you're writing. We do spend the first 2 days on strategy because everything I do is strategy. Notice even the why, even your who I am, it's strategy first. It's with the end in mind. You have 20 minutes to live. What can't die unsaid? So for me, it's always about getting crystal clear on that end result, on all the ways you want to monetize something, or the business you want to build, or the business you want to share, or the book you want to write, or the identity, the true identity that you want to embody. Get crystal clear on that, and then reverse engineer the pathway to get there. Design your yellow brick road from the end in mind, because then you can have a crystal clear strategy. Then you can figure out the easy to implement steps that are going to facilitate the progress to get you where you want to go. But if you don't have a destination in your GPS, you're not going anywhere. So I always start there. In the book writing retreat, the first 2 days is getting so crystal clear on your message, your client avatar, the journey you want to take the reader on, the transformation you want to facilitate in them, how you want to monetize it, how the book fits into your business funnel, all the ways you want to leverage it, how you want to increase your impact. We dive deep into all of that before we ever start writing, because then with that clarity, it makes it much easier to get your book done.
That's brilliant. I love that. And you have a publishing house that you have as well, where I read that. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And I want to go in. And so thank you for sharing about that. I think that's going to be of interest to people, myself as well. And is for someone who, I know you have a podcast too, which I think is going to be great. We'll put the links in there for that so people can check out your podcast and other things you offer. And then your books. The one book you did recently that I dove into with others, I can't remember the name of it. Can you tell me again, with Jeremy and Les Brown, and what's the name of it?
So that was Your Story Sells. And we were so honored to be able to partner with Les Brown and not only curate that book, but then also publish it. And I was so honored to be in that book in a few places. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. And you've done, how many books then have you done yourself? Have you written?
8. 8 since COVID.
8 since COVID, since the pandemic. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And so how long does it take, with someone who's practical says, okay, I have a couple questions about book writing. One is, it used to be people could actually get a bestseller and it'd be profitable. They could make money on writing a book. Today,
money off the book.
That's what people say. Today it's a calling card, and it's a way to establish social proof and credibility, or just to get your story out there so other people can learn and get inspired from it. But so today, writing books, it's not a profitable industry.
Here's the thing, and this is why doing it strategically is critical. So all those people that are like, yeah, it's a calling card, so just do it and get it out there, and you can self-publish it. It doesn't really matter. No, stop. Don't listen to that. Yes, you can do that. And then you know what? You're shooting your credibility in the foot, because it's so easy for people to just throw up a book and say, here's my calling card. And they do it very badly. I will never forget. Someone came to me and they're like, yeah, I've already done a book. And she handed it to me. And the cover was atrocious. You couldn't read it. It was grainy. It was busy. I opened the first page to find 4 different fonts and a typo. And I was like, oh, this is your calling card. This is what you are telling people. This is the brand you want to put out there. This is the reputation you want to build. Oh, please go give people that calling card.
That's
What
not
does that
great.
say about you?
Yeah, it's like having a typo on a business card or having a crappy business card back in the
It
a web
was
page that has typos or that kind of thing. Hmm.
appallingly bad. So when people take the approach of, oh yeah, it's just a calling card, just get it done so everyone has one, and they do it poorly, what you are shouting to the world is that you suck.
Mhm.
You have no credibility. You don't care enough about yourself to represent yourself in a world-class manner. And if you don't care enough about yourself, you certainly are not going to care enough about your clients. So a poorly done book will absolutely torpedo your brand.
Okay.
Absolutely flush it down the toilet.
Well,
And it is the single biggest mistake that I see in this wave of self-publishing, this wave of, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's just a calling card.
okay,
No,
that's good to know because I've seen I hear that from a lot of people is just use AI, get the book out, and just publish it, and don't spend a lot of time trying to make it perfect. And
yeah.
mm,
And so guess what? That's the reputation you're building. And that is what you are telling the world of how you value yourself, the services you offer, the business that you're building. That's how much care you have for this message you're sharing. Really? I don't think so. So it is 100% true that unless you are already famous with a mega following and you get a traditional book deal where they're doing the 18 to 24 month New York Times bestseller campaign with the millions of dollars behind it, because newsflash, a New York Times campaign is $1.5 to $2 million. So unless you've got a big publishing house behind you and you've got the following to support their investment at that level, then you are not going to recoup the investment in getting a book out there just from book royalties. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. To get a book out in the world professionally, properly, credibly, in a way that enhances who you are, in a way that truly opens profitable doors, you're looking at a minimum of $20,000. Anywhere from 20,000 to $500,000, depending on the path to publishing you're taking. And there's 5 different paths. You have a range. Anyone who says, oh yeah, you can do your book for 3,000 or 5,000. No, not credibly, not professionally. It's
okay,
just not, it's a red flag and you should run, right? So if you know you're going to be investing a minimum of $20,000 and you'll be lucky to make a couple of $1,000 in royalties, you're not going to recoup that in royalties.
mm,
You must have the clear strategy for how you're going to leverage and monetize your book before you start. Because that strategy for the results that you want from your book, the ways you want to leverage it. Do you want to be booked as a paid keynote? Do you want to hold retreats? Do you want to offer a mastermind? Do you want to offer a high ticket program? Do you want to do group coaching? Do you want to do a membership? There's a million different things you can offer. Do you want to do an e-course? What are the ways you want to monetize it? When
Okay.
you are crystal clear on those ways, then you can craft the book strategically so that the book leads logically to those outcomes. The book becomes part of your funnel. But if you don't start with that end in mind and very strategically craft the book, position things in the book, address the fears and the objections and the hopes and the dreams in the book, then you're not creating that yellow brick road for your ideal client to achieve the transformation or to take the journey within the book that naturally leads to them wanting to continue the journey with you in all the ways you want to monetize.
Okay. So they have to want to continue the journey with you. So if they read your book and it's not that great, you'll lose credibility, or you'll lose the
You're
audience.
dead in the water.
Yeah. And I like what you said too about it needs to lead logically. So it's depending on what the intent is. So the book is not the standalone. It's one of the vehicles. So it's my intention for writing the book is to, like a YouTube channel. My intention for doing the YouTube channel is to share information, to give more opportunities to people, to allow people to have access to things that I have access to that I want other people to share. I love sharing this with everybody. So it's what is the outcome that I want, or
Yep.
that you or somebody wants. And so to just write a book, is it going to be I'm thinking out loud? Is it an autobiography? Is it a how-to book? What is it? So is it, it's so I think
And
that based on that, it has to be like, what is it you want to do with it when you get there? Where are you
Yep.
going to use it?
And that's why we spend 2 days on getting so clear and granular, actually building out, okay, if the ways you want to monetize it are as a paid keynote, and because you want to offer retreats and a mastermind, and your funnel into that is going to be a group coaching program or an accelerator, then we need to figure out, what are you going to talk about in your keynote? What are the modules going to be in your e-course?
Yep.
What are the topics you're going to cover in your mastermind or your accelerator? We get so granular on that because your book, when it's strategic, is a reflection of that. Guess what? The modules in your course are the chapters in your book. They're just at a different depth. They're just structured a little bit differently.
I love that.
But they get a taste for the transformation. They bond to you. They see your genius. You are helping them navigate whatever the thing is. And they want more of that. They want to go deeper with you because they started to think about things differently. They started to experience the transformation they seek in your book. You're allowing them to then continue with you in the e-course, in the accelerator, in the group coaching, in the mastermind, in the retreats. And then you're able to take those same concepts and use them when you're speaking at conferences, on panels, as a keynote. And then here's the beauty of when the book is that strategically crafted. Now you have all the content you need for your email sequences, for your blogs, for your newsletters, for social media posts. Everything is aligned because you've taken the time, 2 days, in fact, of the bootcamp, 2 full days. You've taken the time to get so crystal clear, so granular, that then you are strategically reverse engineering the content, the path, the journey. You're so strategically speaking directly to your ideal audience, to their hopes, to their dreams, to their resistance, to their fears. You're sharing the parts of your story that bond with them. You're sharing the parts of your story where you've overcome the same fears that they're experiencing. You're sharing the parts of your story where you felt the same resistance that they're feeling, pushed through it, and arrived on the other side.
Wow.
You don't want to write an autobiography because newsflash, nobody cares.
That's right. I think that happens a lot. And that's the thing
They don't care. Nobody cares. And here, it's one of the most freeing things. And it sounds really harsh, but I'm a no fluff kind of girl. I don't coddle. In case you can't tell. But here's the reality. Nobody cares about you until they do. And they don't care about you until they connect with you, until they see themselves in you, until they see that you've walked in their shoes or you can help them in some way. Nobody cares about you until they feel like you see them, you hear them, you understand them, you are them, you were them. When people say, I'm just going to write a book and vomit my story, why? No one's going to read it. There's millions of books out there. No one's going to read it. You're going to pour your heart and soul out, and it's going to get lost in the abyss of books. And you're not actually going to impact anybody. The whole reason why you want to write the book is not going to happen.
I love this so much.
That's
such wow.
Yeah. And I know it's harsh to say nobody cares, but it's true. Nobody cares about me or my story until they do. And then they only care to the extent that I can help them. They don't care about anything else. And you know what? That's so freeing because then I don't have this attachment you mentioned earlier, the fear of judgment or what are people going to think? I don't care what people think.
And we don't live in a fishbowl. Sometimes we think we live in a fishbowl and everyone says, oh, you probably saw my post yesterday about that. And I'm like.
And they didn't. And if they did, they saw it when they were scrolling on the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a like fleeting thing.
Yeah. We're not that into each other.
And it's amazing when we can embody that and be like, oh, I can actually be free to be me.
Yes.
I can actually release all that external burden and pressure that I put on myself if I think I'm life or death for someone. Please, I'm not that important.
Yeah.
I have to do me and be me and shine my light and whoever wants it and whoever doesn't. And it's not my monkey and not my circus and not my responsibility.
I get it. And some things came to mind as you were talking. I write some notes I'm thinking that first of all, is this perfectionist syndrome a lot of people we have is this, oh, I'm always changing. If I write this now, then I'm going to learn something new and I'm not going to like it. And I know I have friends who have written books and who were sitting on it for years because they kept wanting to change it as they were growing. And they said, I don't like the way I wrote that chapter. It was a year ago and I don't agree with that now. And so now I have to go back and rewrite it. And I can't get to it right now. So then they sit on it for years. So tell me about people who are in that space.
First of all, perfectionism is the excuse we give ourselves to not do anything.
There you go. You heard it here first. Or maybe again.
Yeah. There's no such thing.
Anything.
Yeah. It's the excuse, the permission you give yourself to not do anything, to stay stuck in fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of not enoughness, fear of judgment. But perfectionism is just a BS excuse that you give yourself because it doesn't exist. So if you're in the pursuit of the amorphous thing that doesn't exist, you give yourself permission to never do the thing. But how's that going to feel when you die?
Oh, it's awful. The longer we sit on it, it's just it's every day.
Great. You wasted your life. You didn't do it.
I ask this question a lot of clients I have is, what's the one thing that keeps you up at night? That one thing that you know that you put off every day, that you just know you want to get done and you keep kicking the can down the road. And for me, I always know whenever I'm like, say I'm doing my taxes or I start digging into like little piddly items on my to-do list that I've ignored for 6 months. And all of a sudden I have this burning desire to get all those things done. I'm like so self-aware. I'm like, oh boy, Joe, what are you like avoiding right now? This is really fun. What are you doing here? You're doing your taxes. Cool. What are you not wanting to do that you're like, what's up? So yeah, I think we do that there's that one thing sometimes and we all know what it is and it eats away at us. And So the perfectionist thing, and then the
And
next.
the other thing with the perfectionist thing, and with, oh, I don't want to release it until it's perfect. Newsflash, just as easy as you hit upload, you can log in and hit draft.
Ooh,
What's the problem? It's not, we have this notion that all this stuff is permanent and it's so important and it's life or death. And oh my God, nothing is permanent except our soul.
that's it.
So it's completely changeable. If you publish it and a year later you're like, I don't really like chapter 2, we log in, we go to the little drop down where it says live, we hit the drop down, we move it to draft, and just like that, poof, it's no longer visible to the outside world. It's now beautifully living as a draft in your back end. You update what you need to update. You get a new ISBN number because you got to change the ISBN number when you change the book. Not a problem. You get a new ISBN number. You file for a new copyright, $65, copyright.gov, takes 10 minutes. You get all that in place. You re-upload and you're good to go.
Oh my goodness.
That,
That's probably a revelation for a lot of people who are sitting on things like that. And I go, oh, I did that book, but it was like, it's not my best work. And I got to write it again, or I got to write another book. I got to start over, or I'm not really happy. Yeah. Okay. So that's great. That's really good. And then I'm thinking of someone who might be saying, here's another topic, but yeah, but I could talk about so many things. If it's not my autobiography, I have so many topics. And this, I think, goes back to the why, finding your why,
yeah.
and really sitting there. So I think we've got that one covered. Um,
And also thinking that if you could talk about a lot of topics, start with the strategy first. How are you going to monetize it? How are you going to so you could talk about a lot of things, but which ones do you want to monetize?
Okay, so when someone who's not in our space, who doesn't know about programs and coaching and all these other possibilities and maybe keynotes, I'm thinking about a person who might be saying, yeah, I've been through hell and back, and I could write something, but I don't even know like what I'd monetize. What is that? What would I even do? How do you help people figure out like what's
Oh
possible?
yeah. Oh yeah. Call me. Call me.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. But
Okay.
we start with that because, again, there's 0 point in writing a book if you don't have a plan to use it. 0 point. 0. Just know that.
That is the best line right there is, yeah, there's 0 point in writing a book if you don't know what it's going to be used for.
Yeah. Just because you can write on a million things, it's okay. Which one of those do you want to speak on? Which one of those do you want to actually help people achieve some kind of healing, transformation? Otherwise, what's the point? If all you want to do is tell your story for your own healing purposes, amazing. Do that. Tell your story on Microsoft Word, send it to staples.com, have them print it with the spiral bound and a plastic cover and a plastic back, and create a little legacy for your children. You'll save yourself $20,000 at least.
That's beautiful. And that leads right into great segue for my next thought is I'm thinking there are people out there, whoa, $20,000. I don't have that. Is there a way that I can still tell my story or get started with? Obviously I want to serve you. But at the same time, I'm thinking someone who doesn't have it yet, but wants to do something and feels so led to do something. What are some other options that they can do in the meantime as they're growing and building that, finding a way to get
Yeah.
that?
If what you really want to do is tell your story to help people, but you don't have an interest in building a business from it, write blogs, do social media lives, record messages and post them on YouTube, right? Or Instagram. You can share your heart. You can share your message. You can share your wisdom with the world for free. You have a cell phone. You have some kind of social media. You can always start a blog.
Mm.
There's a million of free platforms. Now, again, with the free platforms like medium.com and others, where you could just write your little blog or column. Again, writing it doesn't mean anyone's going to see it or hear it. And so if you don't already have an audience, if you are writing it to heal yourself, go for it.
Mm.
If you are writing it because you genuinely want people to see it, you genuinely want to facilitate healing or change for others because you've already healed yourself.
Key point.
Key point. And you don't feel like even a payment plan would be doable for you. Share it on social media. Do Instagram lives, do Facebook lives, go on TikTok, go on YouTube. You can create this living body of your knowledge, this living body of your insight, the living body of your journey through healing and transformation in a lot of free ways.
I love that because what you're saying is so nice. And thank you for that. That's so generous to say that. And I think it's even like Clubhouse when it was really popular in the past few years. For me personally, I really found my voice there. Like I built confidence and I saw that I had people were interested and I got good feedback. And so it helped me find out that, wow, this is actually something I like to do. And I see that with other people sometimes too, maybe who are learning that and they're getting good feedback. And so maybe it's a transition where it's they don't have the money now, but they want to test it out. You can do things like that, blogs and social media. And then as you see, wow, that you're really getting some traction and people are liking what you're saying, then it's maybe I should write a book. And as maybe you're monetizing on, say, YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and you're making some money, or you're seeing, oh, you know what, I really should start saving for this and I should start putting some effort into here. I have something to say that people want to hear. And I think I can monetize this. So it's a
Yeah.
stepping stone for some that maybe just can't jump right into the book. So that's really
Yeah.
beautiful. You described that.
It's a great testing ground. It's a great way also to start to gather your content that you'll be able to use in the book.
Woo!
So
I love
it's a
that.
great way to start testing it and preparing. And then you can always take the captions from your Instagram or Facebook posts. You can always transcribe your YouTube sessions. And now you have a foundation for content for your book.
Mm,
And then we can strategically craft it because from a strategic client acquisition, client connection, client conversion perspective, there are very specific pieces of content that you want in every chapter that aren't necessarily intuitive. And that's where we get super strategic and craft it. But if you're sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your wisdom, you're sharing your heart, you're sharing your message, you're sharing your processes, you're sharing your insights on social media or YouTube as a foundational piece, then those can always be transcribed. And now
purpose.
you have foundational content that we can work with.
Yeah. I love that. I love all about repurposing and using things over and over in different ways. And so become a good manager of your intellectual property or IP, and then storing it in places that you can easily, using certain tools and things that make it easy to just grab and say, I want to use this again. And let's grab this clip and use this for somewhere else. Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you for that. You know, something else comes to mind are those people who maybe are saying, I don't have a message to share. I don't have anything. Do I even matter? I raise kids. I didn't do anything amazing. I've never had near-death experiences. I wasn't abused. I don't have anything, but I love helping people. I just don't know what it would even be. What would my story be? Is this something I should even bother with? I'm just a normal person. I have never had any major trauma or successes. What would you say to that?
First of all, I would say stop comparing yourself to others.
Woo.
Just stop right there and stop comparing yourself to others because we are all unique. There is not one person that's exactly the same as another. Even twins are unique. Hold the fort. Stop comparing yourself. Second to all those women that are like, oh, I'm just a mom. I've just raised kids. Are your kids alive? Have they done something? You have kept humans alive. That's amazing. And you've kept them alive through the way that you've shown up in who you are, the way that you have guided them through life. And the way that you've done it has been unique to you. Nobody else has done it exactly the way you have. So you have a secret sauce. Now, when you're trying to figure out, do I have a message? Every single person out there, similar to what you say, Jill, my absolute fundamental core message to people is this: you matter. Your life matters. Your mission matters. Your message matters. Your voice matters. And someone in the world is waiting for you to show up fully as you.
Ooh, I love that.
So get out there, tell your story. Whatever your story is, you've got one. You're a living, breathing miracle who's navigated so much stuff. There's none of this comparison of more trauma, more hardship, less hardship. You have navigated your own life. You've navigated all the twists and turns, all the moments of joy and pain, all the moments of richness and emptiness, all the moments of connectedness and loneliness, all the moments of growth, all the moments of challenge, all the moments of struggle, all the moments of questioning, of doubting, all the moments of leaning in and fighting, all the moments of pull, all the moments of push, all the moments of celebration and joy and laughter, and all the moments of being curled up in a ball on the floor, wondering why something was happening or when the pain would stop. So you have a message, you have a story, and someone in the world is waiting for you to share it in the way that only you can. Because only you have navigated your life. And so every single one of you has a light within you that is unique to you. And it's up to you to shine that light and to shine it unapologetically and shine it brightly and shine it in a way that you're like, here I am, world, in all of my magnificence, in all of my glory, in the miracle, in the divine miracle that is me.
I love that so much. It's what I see is as you're speaking, and it's so divine. It's almost channeled. It's just so divine and so pure and so true. It's you. And having worked with strategists and people trying to find brand identity, message, what is the pitch, or what's the program? What is the business? Who is it? Or what is it going to be? And so many times it's what's unique about you, about what you've done in the world, versus that I'm just loving this so much, is that sitting with self and saying, here, because I've had to do it a little bit backwards. Now it's like I've been coming back and saying, getting that inner peace and sitting and growing spiritually and saying, no, who am I really? And really following a lot of Michael Beckwith's work and Svetlana Newsom, our mutual friend, and working with her for the past couple of years. It's just that, who am I really? And not, I'm going to do a program because I have expertise or a background in, or I'm great at investing. So I'm going to talk about personal finance, or I'm going to talk about reinventing yourself because of being divorced and widowed. Those are things that are, like you said, the external. It's not about so much the why, but there's always this struggle for me, is that there's this, I wouldn't say imposter, but there's always somebody who can do it better than me. Yeah, I could talk about that, but I know there's 10 other people I know that are doing that better than me. So I don't even want to do it. And so if I try to create something, there's this resistance because I'm thinking out externally processing. Everyone bear with me because I think we're all in the same boat. A lot of us are, is that then because it's transient, it's not fixed, it's not pure, it's not totally who I am. I'm looking at it as who I am and what I've done versus just the who I am inside.
Yeah.
Ah,
Everything has to come internal. Everything. Because here's the thing. You know how you best serve people? You show up fully as you.
yeah, I've seen that lately. And then in the past year or so, when you doing that, it's just so flow motion, flow.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And here's the thing. People who start with what's the business I want to create, blah, blah, blah. When they start with the external, and that's what we're typically taught to do, is start with this extra. Who do I want to serve? What do I want to create? What's the business I want to build? If you start from the external, that presupposes we have a personal life and a business life. And we've all been taught that. I don't subscribe to that at all. I say, no, I have one life. I have one life. And it's my job to build a life that I love in all regards. And that cannot happen from this division of personal life, business life, personal values, business values. No,
That's exhausting. I've
it's
figured out.
exhausting and
my
it
God.
creates friction, right? It creates conflict. You want to build this business, but you only want to work 2 days a week because you want to have all this time. Whatever, like it creates internal conflict. If you approach it from who am I? How do I shine my light? What are my values? What are my non-negotiables? What's my vision for my one life, my one chance on this earth? In its entirety, in its oneness, in its cohesiveness. What is my vision for my one chance on this earth? How do I want to show up in my one chance on earth? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my life to feel like? What do I want my life to flow like? From that point, who you serve, how you serve them, how you build your business flows from that unified, cohesive, aligned vision for your life.
Oh, wow.
And it becomes aligned. You are creating, you're not trying to put a round peg in a square hole. You're creating from a place of alignment, which then gives you the filters, the very clear filters for your yes, for your no, for your boundaries, because you're so crystal clear on who you are, what's your vision for your life, what are your non-negotiables. Without those, you don't have guardrails. You don't have a framework for when do you say yes to clients? When do you say yes to opportunities? When do you say no?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Then you get on the hamster wheel of yes to things that don't serve you, that don't move the needle to the vision for your life. You say yes to all the things that are shoulds based on external expectations, external labels, external programming, external conditioning,
Yeah.
instead of being driven by that aligned force of, is this opportunity who I am?
Huh.
Is this opportunity in alignment with the life that I desire, with my vision, with my mission, with my purpose? Or is it a distraction? Am I called to say yes to this thing, this opportunity, this funnel, this division of my company, whatever? Am I called to it? Do I breathe fully and joyfully when I think of it? Or does anything in me tense?
Oh, I love that. I do. I live by that now. It's amazing.
Do I feel pressure?
Mhm.
Do I feel apprehension? Do I feel anxiety? Am I anxious? If so, it's a no, because those are not on my vision for my life. I do not desire a life of pressure. I do not desire a life of stress. I do not desire a life of shoulds. I create a life of heck frickin' yes, of let go, of excitement, of joy, of all inness,
I love
of
that.
flow.
And people say you can't have that all the time. Oh, it's not always like that. But I think it's a personal choice. We get to reframe all day long. It's what Michael Beckwith talks about is the dissection of our
Yeah.
thoughts and being so self-aware of as we're going through our day is dissecting. Oh, I just felt off. What just happened? And then I talk about that a lot is
Yeah.
that dissecting is, oh, I just had that thought, or I saw this notification came up on my phone and I just went, oh, I got to call that guy back or something like that. So what did I make that mean as I saw that? And then
Yeah.
it's course correcting and dissecting it real quick going,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Like, do I really need to call that guy back?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I
Yeah.
don't. Okay, forget it. Then let's stay on the joy train. Let's keep going. And
Yeah.
don't jump off. It's not worth it. Let's keep going. When you said, and this is something I've been personally thinking about a lot, is as we're feeling that, becoming really self-aware, and we have that moment where we're testing intuition, we're saying, okay, does it feel right for me? And then I go, oh, I just like, for me, I feel really strongly that I'm not supposed to coach. And I don't, even though I have certifications, I'm like, I just have this thing. And I go, okay, is it ego or is it I just don't feel it? So the distinction between inner soul, and I think that's what you're really diving into, is being able to determine or distinguish what's real and what's not. Is it fear based and maybe I should be, or is it just, that's just not for me? There's something else.
Yeah. And then I think once we get that inkling, so many of us try to rationalize it, justify it, or talk ourselves into something.
Oh, yeah. The intuition, yes, of course. The ego was, oh, you don't need to do that. Don't listen to
We
that.
should.
Yeah.
But that's the way it's done. I can't tell you how many times clients come to me for private advisory and they're like, but we're supposed to do it like this and then like this. Says who? Says your soul or says the million other coaches you've paid?
There you go.
Who's living inside you? And your authenticity, your alignment is your superpower. That is your secret sauce. That is the thing that draws your perfect client, your ideal client to you. There's a million people that can do what we can all do. You mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
You said someone else could do it better. I don't particularly love better or worse. They just do it differently. They're someone else's cup of tea, right? I am not everybody's cup of tea, and I celebrate that. Hallelujah. There is a lid for every pot, and there is somebody out there who can serve you in the way that you need. I'm going to just be me. And the people that need the help that I can provide in the way that I can provide it, the people whose soul resonates with mine come to me. Those are the people I want to serve. I don't want to serve somebody that we're not in alignment with.
When I think a lot of times we get stuck, and it's in love relationships as well, or maybe when it comes from being kids in the playground, is this need to have everybody follow us and like us.
Yeah.
And I overcome that. As soon as I say that, God's going to throw me probably a challenge there. So I know that I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Embrace it.
Like, oh, try
on.
to, yeah. It's like, but it's that idea of, not everybody's going to like us. And it's okay. And it's so freeing when we realize that. And we don't have to earn every single person's acceptance and appreciation and love. And we don't, it's not, the goal is I didn't get that client, or that person didn't want to go out with me, or that person didn't call me back, or whatever it
Yeah.
is. I've actually coined a couple of phrases lately that I've gotten in meditation is when I'm praying is what I learned from Svetlana is that discernment, that knowing and honoring that, yep, that's it. And the no. And if it's I don't know, it's no. And
Exactly.
and
I
if
don't
it's the
know is no.
is no. Yeah. And so then the other one for me though is the discernment. And when I get confused, or I think of it in relationships like dating, is God help me have such discernment. And when my ego kicks in and maybe I'm missing something, if I see someone I want to go out with or that I like, if it's not meant for me, don't give me any more tests, please. I don't need any more tests. Like
Yeah.
it's what I'm calling divine deflection. Like
Yeah.
deflect them. It's almost send them away from me. And I'm
Yes.
starting to notice that it was actually happening. And there are people I'm like going, that person didn't show up or they didn't call me back. And it's, oh, dang, I really wanted, it's like the divine deflection.
Yeah.
You prayed for that. So it's don't give me people that are going to be like tempting to get me off track. And
Yep.
so I think that's the same. It's really honoring that, knowing what's pure for us. And I think there's so much peace too.
Yep.
We're willing to have that, like that. For me, it's the pursuit of inner peace now is when I'm trying to be somebody I'm not, or looking at something that isn't for me. Oh, it feels so icky. When I
Yeah.
just like being on that icky train, I want to be on that joy train
Yeah.
and love train and that openness and flow. And oh gosh, I'm just so excited. There's so many things we could talk about. I adore you. And I want everyone to just follow and find you in whatever capacity that you can. Reach out to Ellie. She has a podcast. She's on social media. And I'm going to be looking into the retreat as well as maybe even working with you one-on-one. But we'll have all the links here in the description. But to share this interview with people, go back, get your notebook. Even if you can't afford anything right now, there's some great takeaways here you'll want to check out and share with others who are on a mission and have something they're seeking to share. And I think that would be really helpful. You can do that, your part there with that. And give us some comments too and let us know. Ellie and I will be responding. Maybe we'll even do an Instagram live together and we can answer some questions and find other ways to serve you all. So any other words, Ellie, before we wrap it up?
Just remember, you are a miracle in motion. And no matter who you are or what you've experienced, you matter. Your life matters. Your mission matters. Your message matters. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And you have something that someone in the world is awaiting for you to share. So get out there and shine your light in your home, in your community, in the world. Shine your light. The world needs you.
I love that. That's a great closing word. It makes me think of the words courage. And I think it took me 3 years to start this channel and to start this podcast. I was scared to death. To have the courage, but I was so grateful for the people who had the courage to put content out there and to share their message, to share information. People like Lewis Howes and Evan Carmichael and all these other people that are doing Tom Bailot, Lisa Bailot, that share so much great information that I said, think about that when you're thinking about sharing your message is, who did you get help from and how impactful was that for you? And I'd pay it forward and do the same for someone else.
Yeah, the world needs you.
The world needs you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here today. Follow, share, subscribe, comment, find Ellie, and stay connected, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.